So this handout has been written by John Thompson, and it has been taken from presentationadvisors.com. Now let's have a look on the tips and techniques that have been shared with us. Now, first of all, what he has tried to tell us that why do we need to present? Why present? We need to present well because our life is one of the big presentations of all time. We are presenting ourselves all the time. We are defined by our actions, our body language, our voices, the pitch of the voices, and etc. Our promotions are based on presentations. So, if we do not know how to present in an effective manner, then we will not survive most of the tasks that are there in life. And one of the most important things that are attached with presentation skills are the PowerPoint or all those softwares which could help us in making a audio visual presentation of whatever you're trying to share. If you overuse PowerPoint, then there is a terminology used for this that says death by PowerPoint. It so happens that if we are in a classroom and a teacher is just simply reading the PowerPoint in front of you, or from a handout, or from something that she has written on the PowerPoint, that is very distracting, because what you do is you tend to read the slides and then go ahead and you do not listen to the person presenting. So that is one of those things that we need to take care while presenting, that you do not add such information or a lot of information that the listener is not able to focus on your speaking. The third most important point is your audience. You have to be audience oriented. Your audience should be your top priority. You could have a number of or kinds of audiences. All kinds of audiences are different. So you need to prepare your presentation according to your audience. So the tips that we are going to talk about are divided into three main areas. First one is the design, then we have preparation and delivery, right? We have uh, talked about design, preparation, and delivery briefly before this, but let's have a look in detail that what does it mean by design. Now, there is no question that a good, well designed presentation will have a good impact on your audience, right? If your PowerPoint slides are clear, they make sense, they are aptly put, then the design is good, right? If there is a problem, if it is overly complex and the audience is not able to understand easily, then there is a problem. Sometimes you might have observed that some of the people, they make the design so complex, they make the design so understandable for the audience that the audience loses trust, and that is what we have to save ourselves from, right? We must make sure that we do not add such information which makes it more complex. So the first point that we need to keep in mind is the simplicity, as simplicity is the most sophisticated thing that is out there, right? Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, says Leonardo da Vinci. So we need to keep in mind the simplicity of the PowerPoint and the design itself. Then we have understand the cognitive load theory. According to this theory, if you add a lot of information or a lot of words on your PowerPoint, then the audience, they get cognitive load. For example, if we are having a class of 3 hours and I teach you four topics simultaneously, that's a cognitive load. You might be able to absorb or understand two or maximum three topics if they are very short. But if I keep bringing up a new topic every 30 minutes, then there will be a problem. So we have to make sure that the things we are presenting, they are coordinating with each other, the things we are putting on are slides, they make sense. Then the third most important point while making your PowerPoint is you have to choose your fonts very wisely. You cannot go for any decorated calligraphic font. The most widely used font style is Times New Roman, and the text size that is used in PowerPoint is 24 in size for the text, and for the heading you can use 36. Although, of course, you can also use sans serif or Calibri as well, but in academia, the most widely used one is Times New Roman, especially in Pakistan. Now, this is Times New Roman, right? I hope you can see. And this is Tahoma and sans serif font. You will have to choose yourself that which one you are going to opt. Then use effective imagery. You cannot add all kinds of pictures in your presentation. You have to make sure the illustrations, the photos, the images that you take, they are properly cited and they make sense and they are visible, right? So these are the things that you need to take care in um, your presentation in the perspective or from the perspective of design. Okay, so next step is preparation. Preparation has to do with all those steps that you're going to take while presenting, while actually gathering the data that you're going to present, and etc. It also includes the preparation of PowerPoint slides as well. So, first, you need to take time to plan. You cannot just haphazardly go for it. You need to have an action plan, a work plan with you so that you can present effectively. Then get off the grid. What happened is that whenever people hear about presentation, they immediately think about that they need to prepare a PowerPoint presentation. Sometimes it could be a possibility that you do not have enough equipment or a PowerPoint slider or a multimedia in your classes, right? Then what should you do? You should get off the grid. You should be able to have plan B. You should have a Panaflex with you, a chart, or some kind of other plan so that you take it with you in a non-digital manner. Then the next step is practice, practice, practice. You need to practice, right? If you practice, only then you will know how to manage the time, how to actually use your body language, your facial expressions. All these things could be only achieved and understood within the time limit if you practice. Now remember, simplicity is not easy. It takes an enormous amount of practice, right? For every pass I got in a game, I got 1,000 in practice, says Don Hodgson, right? So he is a NFL Hall of Fame receiver. So he's of the view that whenever he tried, he needed to practice. Are you following? If you practice, only then you'll be a better person at presenting, or let alone at any task in life. Without practicing, you might not get better in any task. Then we have the third portion of the um, this handout. Okay, then we have delivery. So, all the hard work that you have put in designing and preparing your presentation, now is the time to deliver actually. First of the most or for most important thing is do not read your slides. You should not be, facing the board or your multimedia slide and showing your back to your audience. No, that is not the way to present. You can have prompts, you can have short phrases or even sentences on your PowerPoint. The rest you need to speak on those points by yourself. Like right now, yes, I'm reading the headings, but the things that I'm talking about, they are not exactly what it is written in the handout in front of you. Use black slides. Now, some of the people they say that using slides could help understand the material written on the PowerPoint very clearly. But then there are people they say that black slides are a strong impression that you try to make. So you need to be very careful while using your slides color. I personally use white mostly. White is the slide color I use so that there is no problem for readability. Then connect with your audience. You need to engage with your audience, right? So that you know that you're committed or you are in a process of two-way communication, a presentation or communication or any kind of communication that has to do with a sender and a receiver. It's a two-way communication. Similarly, presentation is a two-way communication because you're presenting and your audience is receiving or understanding or trying to understand what you're trying to share. So you need to keep in mind all these steps. So John Thomas is a founder of Presentation Advisors. It's his handout, and it's a very compact, good one. You can go through it, and you'll be able to design a very good presentation with this.